The relationship gets good, and that's the exact moment something in you starts to panic. So you give them the silent treatment, or you start the fight that wasn't there, or you reach for one more piece of reassurance that never quite lands. And afterwards, that sick feeling. I did it again. I turned something good into something tense. I hurt someone I care about, and I don't even know why I couldn't stop. As a psychologist, this is one of the patterns I see the most. People who wreck the relationship and can't even tell you why. And here's what almost no one realizes. What looks like you sabotaging the relationship is actually you protecting yourself. You're just protecting yourself in the one way that guarantees you lose them. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly where it starts, why your brain keeps doing it, and how to actually stop. It usually doesn't show up when things are obviously bad. It shows up when there is enough closeness for it to actually matter. Something in you feels uneasy, so your brain starts scanning how fast they replied, where they seemed a bit off tonight. You're not choosing it exactly, you're just subtly monitoring, the way you'd watch the road in bad weather. And here's the thing about scanning, it always finds something. Every person has a flaw. Every text has two ways to read it. Every quiet moment can mean nothing or mean everything. Then comes the move. For some of you, it pulls you towards them. You ask if they're okay. Then you ask again. You reread their messages. Then you ask whether they're mad at you. You're looking for reassurance, and maybe they give it to you, but it only lands for a minute. Then the doubt creeps back in. For others, the move pushes you away. You go cold. You start nitpicking. You decide maybe it's boring. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe you're not really into them. Or you feel this quiet pull to escape, even though nothing has happened. If you recognize that, stay with me, because there's a reason this keeps happening, and it's not a character flaw. It's something you can actually see once someone shows you where to look. Everything I just described isn't random. It's a sequence. One step forces the next. It starts here, not with conflict, not with them doing something wrong. Usually it starts with the opposite. Things are good. They're close. They're kind. They're consistent. And suddenly, this matters enough that losing it would actually hurt. And the moment it matters, you have something to lose. That's the turn. Closeness doesn't just feel good, it feels exposed, like standing somewhere high with no railing. And that exposed feeling is the part you can't sit in. The not knowing becomes unbearable. Because the only thing worse than losing them is being blindsided by losing them. Then comes the move. For some of you, the move goes towards them. You check, you ask, you test, you need one more piece of reassurance. For others, the move goes away from them. You go cold, you detach, you find reasons they're wrong for you. Those look like opposites. They're not. They're the same move in different directions. Both are trying to trade a feeling you can't control for a behavior you can. Now you're doing something. Now there's a position to take, a case to build, a distance to create. But watch what that control actually costs. All of it puts real distance between you and them. They start to feel like they're on trial, or shut out, or never enough. And slowly, the relationship you were scared to lose starts wearing down. And here's where it closes. That distance does the one thing you were most afraid of. It pushes them away. And the part watches that happen and goes, see, I knew it wasn't safe. That's the arrow that turns this from a bad moment into a loop. The thing you feared becomes the proof. Proof that closeness is dangerous. That's the loop. The part is trying to protect you from being left. And the way it protects you is the exact thing that gets you left. I need you to understand something about this, because if you walk away thinking you're just damaged, you've missed the whole point. This didn't come from nowhere. Somewhere in your past, being close to someone and needing them taught you that you could get hurt. Maybe someone left. Maybe someone who's supposed to be steady wasn't. Maybe love came with a catch, or got taken away, or only ever showed up when you'd earned it. So something in you came to a conclusion, and not a stupid one either, a protective one. Never again. Never be that exposed again. Never be the one who didn't see it coming. So it built a strategy. If I end it first, I'm not the one who gets left. If I find the flaw before they do, I'm not the fool who got blindsided. If I keep one foot out the door can never slam on me. That's what the scanning is. That's what the coldness is. That's what the fight is. A guard making sure you're never blindsided again. The problem is, it's working from an old map. It's protecting you from a danger that was real back then and running the same strategy now, even in moments where the person in front of you is not the person who hurt you. So you're not failing at relationships. Something in you is succeeding brilliantly at an old job, making sure you never get caught exposed again. You didn't choose that strategy, but you're the one who gets to update it now. And that starts with seeing it for what it is, instead of hating yourself for having it. Now, this loop wears disguises. Maybe yours doesn't look like picking fights or going cold. Maybe yours is just that you never let them fully in. You're present, you're there, but there's a layer you keep back, a part of yourself you keep in reserve. Or maybe yours wears the most convincing disguise of all, the jealousy that disguises itself as love. The checking, the who was that, needing to know where they are, reading into every name, every delay. It feels like you care so much it hurts. But watch what that actually does. It puts them in trial. It makes them a suspect in their own home. Different surfaces, same engine. Loud or quiet, pulling them in or pushing them away, every version is trying to manage the terror of losing someone close. So here's the obvious question. If you can see all of this, if you know you do it and you know it's costing you, why can't you stop? Because almost everyone tries to stop it in the same place, and it's the one place it can't be stopped. You try and fix it at the behavior. You promise yourself you'll do better, you won't send the text, you won't go cold, you'll trust them this time. And maybe it holds for a day, a week. Then the hot moment comes and all of it goes out the window. Here's why it never works. The loop has already been running for a while already. The behavior is the last link in the chain, not the first. You're trying to stop a train by grabbing the back carriage. The decision to act was made several steps before. And this is why being self-aware hasn't saved you either. A lot of you are deeply self-aware. You've read the books, you know your attachment style, you can explain your own patterns better than most therapists. But the loop doesn't fire in the calm, it fires in the heat. And in the heat, the fear is faster than everything you know. So if trying harder doesn't work and understanding it better doesn't work, what does? Let's go upstream, not to the behavior at the end of the loop, but to the moment it starts. Because before the text, before the fight, before the coldness, there's an earlier moment, the brace. That first flicker where good tips into unsafe and your body goes quietly on alert. That's where the whole thing is actually decided. And that moment has a feel to it. It's physical. There might be a tightening, a drop in the stomach, a sudden hyper alertness, or that creeping suspiciousness. You've felt it 1,000 times. You've just never been looking for it because you're always staring at the behavior at the end. So here's the actual work, and it's smaller than you'd think. It isn't stopping the feeling. You can't. And trying is just another fight you'll lose. It's catching it. Noticing the brace one beat sooner than last time and going, there it is. That's my loop starting to run. And you don't fix it, you're not trying to argue with it. You're just seeing it while it's still a feeling before it becomes the behavior. Because the moment you catch it, even for a second, you're not inside the loop anymore, you're looking at it. And in that small gap, you finally have a choice you've never had. Not to run this once, to stay with the fear the loop has spent your whole life trying to outrun, long enough to learn it won't destroy you. That's the skill. Catch it earlier. Catching it once by accident is easy. Catching it reliably, learning your own particular tell, that takes practice. So if you want to find your exact loop, the one you run when closeness starts to feel unsafe, I made a free workbook that walks you through all of it. It's in the description. Start there. But even if you don't download it, leave with the one thing that matters. Stop watching the behavior and start watching the brace. The whole game is upstream of where you've been looking. Now, some of you have a question for me, and it's the right one. What if this isn't the loop? What if the urge to pull away is my gut telling me something that is actually wrong? Sometimes your judgment is working exactly as it should, and I do not want you to use this to talk yourself into staying somewhere unsafe, dishonest, or consistently painful. So here's the cleanest test I know. The loop is usually bigger than the evidence. It often fires when things are getting good, but the closeness itself starts to feel threatening. A real warning sign points to something actually happening. Dishonesty, disrespect, control, cruelty, inconsistency, or a boundary being ignored. And if this is turned into checking, monitoring, restricting, or trying to control the other person, that is past what a video can help with. It is worth getting real support for both your sakes. Here's the thing under all of this. What we've talked about today is one phase of a bigger pattern. The ways we tried to protect ourselves from pain and ended up building our lives around the very thing we were running from. Today, the loop turned against someone you love. There's another version that turns it on yourself, a voice in your own head that talks to you in a way you would never talk to anyone you cared about. That's the next video. It's right here.